Do you think you got through to Prime?
Let's hope so, because if I didn't, we're all gonna look like burnt-out toaster ovens.
All right. And so now we have in front of you the none other than last end of the Kingdom line. Kingdom Autobot Blaster with Eject. Yes, he is a Voyager, and he is a radio. And he is a nice looking radio. But before we get into the radio, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The most important thing is the box. Because you know all Transformers come in a box, especially the new ones. And as you can see here, it's Kingdom Blaster in his blaster radio mode. On the side, you get to see him doing that pose. Oh man, you gotta love the packaging. On the back, you get that 20 steps to transform. There's a picture of Eject. There's him popping out of his chest. This is looking like Blaster. And then on the side here, he's same old Kingdom stuff. Because you guys who love these things, here's the instructions. It's green, it's a paper, you know. Okay, instructions. And a card. Because, you know, that's what we pay all that extra money for, is the card and it's Dinobot. And he transforms into Dino Musty. All right, we're done with the packaging. Straight to the radio. And yo, it's a boom box. Okay. What does the boom box do? Nothing. Door opens. And there is a cassette. That cassette is Eject, and he is crystal blue. Crystal blue, look at it. It's blue. Alright. But it's cool. We'll show off robot mode later. And he fits in his chest. And of course, you push that in, the chest comes out. And the boom box looks pretty good, straightforward. He's got speakers in the front. These would be your volume knobs, of course, as you tape, you know, play, rewind, probably record here. There's little knobs here. It's even got like little side speakers to flex for bass from the back. It's pretty solid. And of course, you can't really store the gun, but you could put the gun here or there. There are ports to put it in, so you know, at least you got a place to put the gun. But for now, I'm just gonna put it back here while we talk about some other things. But he's pretty cool. Let's do some measurements real quick here. In height, he is approximately 3 inches, and then across the board, he is about 5.5. Yeah, close to 5.5. So it's not bad. Now, let's compare him, because I had this vehicle sitting in here, and I ain't gonna be transforming toys up there. He's as big as the Artfire. Now, this is the Million Publishing 2011, I believe, or 2012. Their version of Artfire, which is basically, we'll talk about more about him tomorrow, but I'm getting him prepared for tomorrow's review. And of course, you know, he's the same size as vehicle. It's unnatural. Moving along. So, who was that other blaster we had out there? Yeah, we had this guy. It's a USB hub. He turns into this. If you buy this is for nostalgia purposes only. I've owned this when it first came out. It's about $80, I think. This is device label blaster. He comes with, it's a USB hub. There's a cord that you put here, and it's only USB 1.1, so it's not even worth using today. It's not even 2.0 standard, so it's pretty much, you know, a useless hub. But the cool thing about him is he actually could hold tapes. So you can actually put like the original full-size tapes in. I really don't. I like it. It's a pain in the butt. He's not going to be in the review. It's just not going to be in the review. He was here. He was trying, but no, you're not going to be in the review. But I'm just saying, this is, you know, and it says Toshiba on the front. Yeah, let's flip it over. Yes, Toshiba. Hey, it's Toshiba. All right. Now, the next person you probably want to see is Soundwave Superior. And this makes a little more sense now as we get a little close to what we see here. And I like this. I kind of dig it. This works a little better. A little blast off. You're a poor excuse for a sound system. Oh, talk, no shock. But yeah, pretty much they're comparable. He opens from the top and he opens very weirdly from the bottom, but they still do the same thing. Just to give you an idea. Now, these tapes, let's just do a little comparison. It's weird how they're the same size, but if you put him in his chest, he has a devil of a time opening him. See, he gets stuck. Now, of course, if you put Rumble in his chest, he opens up just fine. So I don't know what it is about that. It's weird because they're both the same thickness in tape mode. They're pretty much, well, it's not really a tape mode. They didn't really bother, but they're the same. So let's get back into your perspective chest where you belong. And yeah, it's pretty good. And now we're going to compare them with AO1 Soundmixer. Now, let's talk for a second. This actually looks more kind of like Blaster than this one does. But if you think about it, he had, like, when you see these little side speakers, he looks just like how he does in that scene in the movie that I use, where he's like, radioing the prime and things of that nature. Like I said, this one has no type of tape. It doesn't open up. It doesn't eject. You have to kind of grab it and pop it open. So that's the playability that's missing. Like I said, this part's a little asymmetrical, besides this part being asymmetrical. But if I had my pick, I still like this radio mode a little better than this one. But this one's newer. Now, oddly enough, they both feel solid. This actually feels a little more weighty and solid. Now, he doesn't have any distinguishing features compared to him. There's, and like I said, the biggest problem I have with him always is I can never get that tab to work. Just third party, just stuff. But yeah, he resembles Blaster, but this one has more functionality. And I like that. And, from the side here, like I said, they got the speaker here. And from the back, they both are very similar, though I still think I got him transformed wrong a little bit. But hey, it is what it is. But I like both of them, I like both of them. So we're going to pause for the cause. We're going to do the sped up transformation. And then after that, we're going to go into the robot mode. So we're back in 2 and 2. All right, and we're back by YouTube magic. And we're going to transform him. Now, if I speed it up, that's because I did some screwing up. So I only transformed this once. First things first, we're going to start with Eject, because he's right there in our faces. And basically, to transform him, you basically just flip this head up. So that way you know where you're starting from. Then you just kind of fold out the arms. See that? Fold out the arm. Fold out the other arm. Pull the leg down, swing it around. Pull the leg down, swing him around. Boom! You got Eject. All right, he is done. Real quick close up. He's good. All right, to the side. Remember the Megatronic gun. So the first thing you want to do is kind of separate these. That's important, and kind of swing them there. So that's your starting point. And then from the back here, you just want to untab everything. It's kind of like, so you can see where I'm at here. Untab everything, and then fold this out, and then fold this out. So you'll see the hollowness of the leg right there, just to give you an idea of what's going on. And then you peg these leg struts, the handle, they now become leg struts here. That's important. Why? You'll see in a moment. So you would think this is the front of his legs, but no. front of his legs are going to be right here. But you got to do the ever so aforementioned twist. And these panels, you fold that down. Then you fold that down. Then what you're going to do is close it, twist. And, you know, that's the back flap, which you don't have to change. It's not like Soundwave or anything. So now you got the feet. And what you want to do is, this is the hardest part of this thing, is pulling his damn feet down. And I had issues with this. Dang it. As you can see, it's like cheap little cars. So I have to kind of bend it, and then you do like that and it pulls it out. Now these speakers right here, you're gonna flip them, and it's a real seal. You just flip them. So now to give them like the, you know, the faux speaker, or you can leave it with the grill in. I just think it looks better like this, and he's hollow. Then you take the arms, see here, unfold it. It is the weirdest transformation, and then put this together. And like I say, he's hollow on purpose. And swing the arm around so you can get the proper bend. And do the same thing on the other side. You know, do that, and you'll see the arm bend correctly. And then after that, you're almost done. I mean, he's not that hard to transform unless you're just mad at the world. Then you just fold this back. And when you fold that back, I had a hard time. Some of these parts just don't want to come out. I hate when you don't have enough clearance. So what do? Use the gun. Boom. Blaster. He is complete. Put that there. Yeah, and he's done. And then, of course, now he's transformed and complete. Now we're going to go over articulation. And of course, we'll start and set that up in 2 and 2. All right, we're back by YouTube magic. And right now we have in front of you Kingdom Blaster in his robot mode. And let's go over articulation. Let's take the gun out of his hand. Leg moves up to here. Leg moves up to here. Leg moves back there. And I think you can move the butt flap. You can get even more articulation. All right. The arm does a 360. Arm goes out to here. Rotates here. Rotates at the elbow. No fist rotation. Very hollow inside. Head looks up and down. Rotates 360. Waist rotates 360. Let's see what else here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And feet swivel. So he's got feet swivel. And he can do the Van Damme. So yeah, he can do that. And let's put the gun in his hand, which is the Megatron-y looking gun. I always say he looks like Megatron. Transformed. It's always what I said as a kid in G1. And put that there. And we're going to do some measurements real quick. Now I gotta warn you, he is a little too tall. He is a little too tall. He is the exact, if not by a hair, so much a hair shorter than Voyager class Optimus Prime. He is way too tall. I don't know where you guys get this from. He is not supposed to be that tall. Yes, the toy was bigger than Soundwave, of course, but he is way too freaking tall. Sorry, he should not be that big. Now, while we get ready to go into a few more comparisons, let's talk about the cassettes in the robot mode. So now we have Eject in his robot mode, and he's very tiny. So we're gonna bring him close to the camera, focus. He has the same articulation. Leg goes to here, leg goes to there, but this time he has an elbow, which I think is pretty good. Again, he's all clear. He doesn't feel cheap. If he falls apart later on in life, then he just does. It is what it is. That's the head sculpt. No waist articulation. It's got the gap in the back. And the head does rotate. I don't know why you would. It's very tiny. It's kind of annoying, but you get it. And of course, here he is next to Rumble. And to me, he's a lot better than Rumble. I think. I wish Rumble had more of this articulation. I think the reason why he's going to be clear plastic is that in the future, they're probably going to do a shattered glass set, and they're probably going to make Solaron. So I guess they just went ahead with clear plastic. Don't know why I really don't know why they went with that choice, because there's nothing clear about him at all. Like, he needs a redo. This is not how Eject looked. The original toy Eject was just solid blue and gray. So sorry for you stands out there, you weren't here for G1. And no guns, big letdown. But other than that, it is what it is. Off they go. Next thing we're gonna do is compare with some Autobots. And we have on deck, just for comparison, because he's so tall, Optimus Prime, where he is exactly the same size, and Jazz, because the two of them were like the music guys, and yeah, he's pretty much exactly the same size as Optimus Prime. It's uncanny. I mean, when I say they're the same size, it is a hair, like a hair. And maybe because I have Prime kind of leaning over, if I stand him back up, he's still just, he's too big, man. He's too big. Y'all, he's too big. And then of course, we're gonna compare him to Soundwave, and people are gonna say, yeah, in the cartoon he was bigger. BS. Get off of that. He was not. You don't know your G1. No, he was not bigger than Soundwave. He was not. They were the same size. So he's not overly big, but he's big. He's just a little too tall. You know what I mean? No, he's just a little too tall. But, you know, like I said, that's neither here nor there. We're going to do like a comparison with the AO1 sound mixer. And then we're going to go just to show you the height differences. And if you need to see any height, you know, above for him, you could check my video for him, which we will link at the end of the video. And like I said, he's still too tall. Like, this was about as good as it gets. I thought that this was a good height comparison compared to him. He's just too big. He's just too big. We're gonna put Soundwave to the side for a second. Let's compare the two. So first things first, what is good and what is bad? This toy is more solid, and it's sad because this toy is old. This is old. This is 2013, 2014, I believe. This is 2021. Though we know about him for almost over a year. The head sculpt is, well, yeah, this one doesn't look like Blaster. And of course, because it's third party, they couldn't do that. This one definitely looks like Blaster. The waist section is very G1. The tape, now, before we go, well, what you mean by asymmetrical? The door is asymmetrical, exactly, because if you divide it in half, you're not getting like Soundwave, you can divide it equally in half. But the chest on him is asymmetrical. So the entire body, upper chest, is asymmetrical because you have this gap here, while here is just straight across. No real buttons to show that he can open up, and of course there's no spring loaded. You just do like that. And of course there were no tapes made for him. He has tapes, you just kind of push that in. Again, we've seen this before, and opens up the chest. Now, the plastic on this is cheap feeling, but it's not bad. The plastic on this is much denser, much nicer, but it's loosey goosey, because it surprisingly uses pins, and this one uses pins too. But like I said, this is a different engineering, different era. As far as the legs are concerned, they are a bit skinny. He's a little more wider, a little more beefier. But I do like his legs because these sticking out just make him look, it doesn't look right. Now, I would love him to be more streamlined like this. And you probably could take these off. There is a way to slide them out, but I found it to be difficult, so I wouldn't do that. In fact, both of these share the same articulation. Yes, they share same articulation. These feet on this old behind toy do a feet swivel. Now, as far as how I feel about which one is better, the head sculpt sets this off. The head sculpt set this off enough to where you can kind of forget about these black things on the side here. I think that he is a good stand-in if you couldn't get him, but if I'm gonna be honest, his colors are very toy. It kind of blurs the line between the toy and the cartoon. This was just a stand-in. When you see it, you'll know why. Like, at the end of the day, you would have to get this. If you're getting this, it's not gonna go any further. Like, you can't put tapes in here, so you're kind of stuck. You know, yeah, he'll look good if you get a new one. I'm sure the parts will be stiffer, but at the end of the day, this is more in line with what you got. So I would say he is better. Naturally, he's official and he's better. But I will miss the fact that his gun turns into tape. I think that's amazing. But I just love the shape of the gun here. I think that overall, bearing what you can see here, this is more blaster like than this one. But this one, I will say, and I will give it its props, Hasbro, you're gonna have to learn what companies were doing like almost a decade ago could still kind of blow you out the water. And Hasbro, you got to catch up, man. And this, you're going down a road here with this where it could be cheap. My biggest issue is the door is kind of, it's got a little gap there. And that's forgivable, but it's not forgivable. This should be the swan song for Kingdom. Yeah, you want to throw this in Legacy, that's fine, but it should be the swan song for Kingdom. Thank God he doesn't have battle damage. Well, that's it. All right, because we're approaching the end. So that's my comparison. And I want to say, let's go and talk about the final thoughts. So, final thoughts with this guy, it's a win because of the fact that it's Blaster. I mean, it's Blaster. You can't have Soundwave without Blaster. And the fact that he comes with Eject here, Eject stand up, is great. I mean, the whole entire concept of these two are just amazing. And let me get my camera in focus here. Just a fantastic. It's fantastic. Like, despite my flaws of how I feel about this toy is fantastic because it's Blaster. But you're going to have to understand when you pick this up, the plastic, it grates on you. It does. We're approaching something here that needs to quietly end with Blaster. Like this, we shouldn't be going that route. You know what I mean? But other than that, it's a good looking figure. If you could get them at regular price, get them. I got them for $39.99 from a store called TRG. I will put the link in the description to their store because they saved my life. I can't go out and shop. As you know, I work for a utility company, Fortune 50. We're on call when the storms come. And I had to work not complaining, I'm saying I had to work 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. Saturday. With snow, I didn't go out and hunt. It felt good to know that this was coming in the mail, and they only had one left. It wasn't a scalper website. I never used it before, and I'm sure people probably were kind of hesitant, and that's why it was still sitting there. But at $39.99, I did the math. It didn't matter to me. By the time I spent gas to get it, I would have spent more in gas. So I said, let me give these people the money. They're packing it up. They did a good, excellent job of packing this figure up. I mean, the box was big. I thought some extra stuff in there, but he was well wrapped. Beautiful. Like I said, their store, they have like 1 or 2 or 3 of an item, so it's a good place to kind of snipe something when you can't hit it at the other e-tailers. Enough about them. They're a great company so far. They have done me excellent because this was just On eBay, he's going for $50, $60. People are scalping left and right. You're scumbags. But, that being said, that's an argument for another day. Should you buy this blaster? Yeah, buy the blaster. Be happy. You'll love it. It's a great figure. Overall, he is now replacing the other guy that I had, the AO1 Soundmixer. He is being replaced. And should you get AO1 Soundmixer? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. If you're a lot of your toys of Kingdom, Earthrise, War for Cybertron, Legacy, get this guy. Just get him. Wait. Don't overpay scalper prices. I know people say, well, I want him in Kingdom. He's gonna be in Legacy. Same figure. Just wait. If you really can't get him and you don't want to pay extra, wait. I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't do it. So, hey, thank you for watching my review of Blaster, Kingdom Blaster. This is Super Robot Ed. So happy to have you come to my channel. Thank you. Please hit the like button. It helps in the algorithm. And I want to thank everybody. I'm so happy to get this toy finally. I can put it to rest. All right, that's it. Peace.